Coming early, I tell you what.
All right, we're on.
We're on. Christian
and going.
Christian.
We're on.
We came.
We're not
we
going to
saw,
waste any time.
We kicked its ass.
Yeah,
All right.
no, that was the one time I almost laughed at this movie. Hey, are you recording?
Oh,
are
dead.
you?
You're dead meat.
Are you recording? Okay.
Yeah, I am.
A new study suggests men who claim size doesn't matter because it's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean, have never actually been on the ocean in a small boat and have no understanding of metaphors. Researchers say that if they can't find their way at sea, there's no way they'll find the spot with the G. Now this. Ghost Jizz, Freezer Hell, Marshmallow, Bill fucking Murray. All of this and more on this edition of Sequel Men, the podcast.
All right.
Coming at you, not live from Semen from a Ghost. Three men talk about the films you care about and Ghostbusters. It's the Sequel Men podcast, and it starts.
Here we go.
Right now.
This is gonna be brutal,
guys. Okay, Spencer. So in my free time, I like to play games. I like to collect Lego figurines. I like to build them, put them on my shelf, get some books.
Right.
Do you have any hobbies that you like to do?
Yeah, I like to do this podcast. I like sports stuff. And I'm going to start writing a book pretty soon because it's Write a Novel Month. So I have a book idea.
Oh, yeah. Tentative title, Spencer, I'm an Asshole.
No, it's actually not about me. But when I write my memoir after we make it big, I will, just for you. Here, time code this, because if we actually do and I write a memoir or a book, I'm going to title it that, just for you.
You're going to do it regardless.
Yeah, I guess so.
But you missed the joke. You were supposed to say, I collect mold, spores, and fungus.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That may have been the parts I was asleep for.
Oh, okay. You just kicked it off. Here we go. Here we are, Sequel Men the podcast. Kick it off. I'm going to kick you in the face. Sequel Men the podcast with Joel Howie. Oh, wait. No, that's Spencer's.
What are you doing? Start over. Time code it. 2:30. Start over. Joel, write that time code down.
Hey,
Flubbed opening.
Bite me.
I didn't flub it. Anyway. No, Spencer, you just gave us the perfect intro because you're in for it tonight on another episode of Sequel Men the podcast talking about Ghostbusters. Here I am, Christian Bring It All, and with me, as always, is hi, how you doing? I'm Spencer.
Hi, how are you? Spencer, hi, how are you? Good. Shut up. Ghostbusters, more like Borebusters, am I right? No, guys, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to us. To my immediate right, your immediate center, if you have both of your buds in, or if you have headphones on, and if you're in the shower, again, he's with you. Look behind you, but don't open the curtain, because then, look, he's a great guy. He's a good fella. He's about 5'8.5". He's got just a massive, huge, thick personality. He's got just eyes that would drive Julia Roberts crazy, and a much smaller mouth than her. Give it up, everybody, for Joel Howie.
Well, Joel, I'm surprised you didn't mention your feet this time.
Yeah, I might have to file a restraining order after that one. But thank you, Spencer.
You're the one in the shower.
Pair of shoes.
Joel Howie, the voice of this podcast, of which I can never get a word in on, and the voice of the Laker marching band at GBSU.
Number one.
You know by now.
Who's not number one? Green Bay.
To all of our 10 subscribers. Thank you.
So over that. Hey, well, the NFL trade deadline just went past, and we did nothing. The Packers did nothing. They need some help at receiver, and they got none. So, thanks. We're the Sequel Men. We're talking about Ghostbusters, and today we're talking about the first one, Ghostbusters, 1984. It's an old one. And no, it's a good film. It's a good film. I just didn't wasn't as into it as you guys were. I'm not. It's not a bad movie. I'm obviously I was just trying to ruffle your balls, but I don't know, man.
Well,
I wasn't
ruffled more than that. Let's just get
it
out of the
wasn't
way
as
now.
hyped. Like
No,
the
the
pacing
The
was
fact
just
that
awkward to
you
me.
told us,
he's
you told us earlier that you fell asleep twice, and I've said
Yeah.
it.
Dude,
I'll repeat it again. You fell asleep because you're fucking old. You're a dad. You get exhausted
I'm
way
old?
too easily, and
no, I
and-
fell
and
asleep
you took a
because I was
snooze.
up. I
because
was
you're
up.
fucking your dad.
I was up until
Your
midnight
dad.
the night before because I had
Spent
to
too
watch
much
my team
energy
lose.
lacing up your New
'Cause I had to
Balances and
watch
mowing
my-
the fucking lawn.
I had to watch my
up
team
until
lose the night
3:30
before.
in the morning cleaning.
Okay.
So you have no excuse. Oh, by the way, sequel listeners, I got a new job. I'm a shift manager at the local movie theater in Grand Haven
that he was working at before.
Yes,
that I
but
was working
now
at before they
he's
closed.
up the ladder.
Before
He's
A little
COVID.
bit,
running that
yeah,
shit.
yeah. I'm learning. I'm learning new things. I'm making progress, and it's going to be fun.
I wasn't
he's
trying to
gonna get a
shit on
lot
you.
of-
I was
Oh, I know.
He's gonna
Go
get a
ahead.
I was
lot
just
of
giving
I
some
shat-
spoiled.
backstory.
I
Yeah.
shat on your intro. I feel bad about that. But what I don't feel
Yeah.
bad
Joel,
about is
what a
seeing this.
Voice actor.
Joel Spencer has no problem ghost busting his nuts over Top Gun, but this movie,
because
Yeah.
it was good.
oh,
Yes,
there was
Ghostbusters is
action.
good. Thank you.
Ghostbusters is good.
It's good. But the pacing
you-
just seemed awkward
Ghostbusters
and
to you
weird
is like
me.
Andor to Spencer or to Joel.
and it was just a kind of a weird, just kind of a movie like this.
It does have
It was kind of a
it's hard to-
monotone movie.
It's hard to pin it in a specific genre because it's kind of like it's a comedy, but it's also kind of a action adventure movie with a little bit of horror in there
Yeah, I
Mhm.
got none of that.
and a little bit of fantasy with the ghosts and the paranormal thing.
I did get that.
Not like a deep sense of fantasy. Obviously, not Lord
I'm
of the
just
Rings.
very-
You know what I'm saying.
Disappointed because
It's a nice
I
blend,
thought,
though.
you know, this is peak Bill Murray, as I've said before, and
He was
I
good.
thought Spencer would be just rolling and just like would just be
So
all
did
up in
I.
this because of the
Yeah.
complete aloof nature and irreverence of him, of Bill Murray, at least that, you know, and then he's just
Is
like,
it
yeah, I fell asleep twice.
is it Bill Murray's style to not really do much? Like,
Okay.
he's
Well,
just-
that's his character.
he's
That's
just
the character.
like this the whole time. Is it okay?
That's the
fine.
character, Peter
in
Venkman.
every movie that he's in.
Venkman.
Okay.
Venkman. Yeah.
It just starts off really weird.
The
for
way
me,
he
where he's
says
just
that
talking
always
about,
stands out.
like it was just this awkwardly scripted, where he's talking to the kid and the female
Is
student.
this
he's
your
a
car?
Perv, and I just didn't know. I didn't get it. The humor just didn't hit for me.
He's
There was never a
chauvinistic.
time where I even chuckled. I'm like, yeah, this is fun.
Are you
I'm enjoying this,
fucking
but
kidding me?
I
You
just,
can
I
keep the
didn't,
$5. I will, mister.
yeah, I didn't
The
laugh.
fact is, it's pissing me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
It's
that was
I'm
classic.
getting a
good.
little
Please,
tired of
I'm-
this.
I cannot
I mean,
understand how
I don't-
I'm the key
I know.
master. You the gatekeeper.
I'm
I'm
surprised as
Rick
much as
Moranis,
you,
like-
Joel.
Rick
I-
Moranis was the best part about this movie. Loved him.
Hey Dan, I'm
I'm
having a
Vince
party. You want to
Clortho.
come over to the party? We
What
got
was
some
his,
Pepsis
what's his
and that.
job? Why was he
He's
so
a-
popular?
CPA
What is a
or-
CPA?
accountant. He's an
If you're
accountant.
wondering, that's why I didn't invite any friends and I only invited clients.
So I can use tax
Should we
deductible.
dance
Yeah.
to get the party started? And then they do this for a second. I gotta go get that door. He was my favorite part of the whole thing.
All
Loved him.
right, who let the dog? Who brought the dog?
Who brought the dog? Yeah, that was pretty good.
I did laugh when
anything-
his back is
any
against
scene
the
he was
window.
in.
Ah!
any scene he was in. I was here for. I was here
All
for.
right, but let's
He
get back to
and,
Bill Murray.
He and Ray, I appreciated quite
Yeah.
a bit, and
Yeah.
Winston.
Winston Zeddemore.
Zeddemore, yeah.
I liked
Yeah.
him too. Kind of an odd he came in. There was no backstory. He just came in, and then you were hired.
If there's a steady paycheck, I'll believe anything you say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that part.
Yeah.
And that's when Dickless came into the building.
I expected you to laugh a little bit more too.
But I didn't at all.
Anyway,
it's like your humor too. Yeah, like the pecker joke. And like it's
Dickless.
Literally what you do to us every time on the show.
I guess I'm not funny.
Venkman style derailing of everything.
Guys, speaking of Venkman, let's get back to where we started with Bill Murray. Ring theory. Hee.
Wait.
Why?
Oh, he doesn't have it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, he does have it.
Maybe it'll work tonight. Yeah. Let's hope for the best.
Bill Murray. Right off the bat, I'll say, and this is kind of topical with all the things that are being accused and put out there by his co-stars of these films that he's been in, being a little problematic, to say the least, on set, with Gina Davis, with other actresses. But I don't want to make a but about that. I just want to say in this movie, it's almost like with the context of what we know today, and I don't want to say they're not telling the truth. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. But it's almost like in this movie, he's playing himself with how chauvinistic and kind of pervy he is.
He never left
with the women in his career and in his life, especially with that student at the beginning. Like, that's kind of yikes.
Right.
That's not.
Yeah.
That would not fly today unless it was clearly expressly a joke.
Yeah, as any of these old films we cover, it's like there's going to be problematic. Scenarios.
This film
Even
is
in Top Gun.
This film definitely has. Well, that's another product of the '80s, like this one, 1984. That was 1986 or 87, I think. But this is definitely misogynistic in moments. I mean, Ray getting a ghost
I'll
blowjob.
be right back. My mom is calling me.
Okay.
That's
talking.
An excuse to get out of it because he hates this fucking movie. But anyway.
It's definitely male-dominated humor.
Right.
And scripting.
Yeah,
80s
I can
culture,
see that.
That sort of thing.
I can see that. But man, let's talk shit about him now that he's gone. But I don't get it. Like,
he's an easy target.
I feel like
let's talk about how we don't get him not liking it.
Yeah. Let's talk about how Spencer's useless for this episode. But
kind of like how you were for High School Musical.
Yeah. I think maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but on our 100th episode, when we did the thing we're talking about our favorite movies, didn't I mention? I feel like I put this one in there somewhere. This is just bottom line.
Yes,
Ghostbusters.
I think I guessed Ghostbusters as part of your.
It's just one of my most revered films, I guess. It's just, I don't know. I don't get it. It has, to me, it has everything. So for Spencer to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I didn't get that." Okay, well then you were sleepwalking. I don't know. Like
he's back.
Oh, he's back. All right,
he was asleep.
But
he was dreaming.
It's everything for me.
Well, going off of that, we can quickly go over how we first saw Ghostbusters or heard of it. This movie for me is very weird. It's very like I said, you can't peg it into a specific genre. Kind of like you said, it kind of mixes a nice blend of a bunch of things: comedy, action, adventure, horror, paranormal, that sort of thing. And it makes me feel nostalgic for living in that kind of time period in New York City. Like, I love the aesthetic of the movie, like the classic New York kind of culture.
Yeah, I thought I was going to love it because of all that stuff. I'm like, okay, comedy, paranormal, ghosts. I'm in for this.
But
and then I was like, this is just fine.
I never one that, I'm surprised. I'm going to say that again and again. I'm surprised that you don't like it as much as you do, or that
Watch
we would
me
hope
like
you to.
The 2016 one the best.
Yeah. Oh boy, it's more modern. I get the modern humor better.
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy had me in stitches.
Well, because she's a real comedian.
Yeah,
Like anybody in this film.
Oh, and Bill Murray isn't, and Dan Aykroyd isn't,
I wouldn't say he is.
and
That's
Harold
what
Ramis isn't.
Do you have act summaries? Do we want to? Are we still going to do
Yeah,
that?
I have
Are we
them.
gonna...
I did, yeah.
Okay, I didn't
if it
see the
means
movie when
anything
I
to
was a
you-
kid.
If it means anything to you, I was engaged in the movie, and I rewound after I woke up. And
Okay.
from memory, I did the acts. So
Just
it stuck
disrespectful.
with me.
Completely
I remember
disrespectful.
I rewound it. It's not like I just dismissed it. And you, like I said, besides it being a little boring, I was up late the night before. It was my own doing because I had to watch my team lose. So
Your doing was your undoing,
yeah,
as Winnie says.
I
But
can get
where
into
were
Act
you?
One if
You
you
saw
want.
this. You saw this for the first time just the other
Oh
night.
yeah, we got to do this. Yeah, the other day.
Dude, it's been a long time. I watched it on Blu-ray
Nice. You didn't pirate it.
from the library.
I
This is
watched
the
it
first
on.
movie that hasn't been
suggested
streaming.
I watched it on
we've done in a
AMC
while.
Plus for the free trial.
Oh, good.
Good for you.
It was a
And
little blocky, but
Tomorrow I'm picking up Ghostbusters 2. I had it on hold at the library, so
oh, cool.
I'm
cool.
excited
What
about
about-
2. I bet you,
You know
in a
what?
better mindset,
I'll let you finish.
I'm going to go into this one. I'm going to like this one better. I know that it's not like as good, I think, based on the reviews, but I bet I'll just like it better.
Mhm.
There's some narrative
And you know
choices
what?
they could have made that
Someday
were better, but
I'll rewatch Ghostbusters and I'll be like, okay. But it just seemed, it was like a weird, awkward movie for me that was paced weird. And I don't know if it was just because of the times.
the
It just
pacing
seemed
is a little weird. I will give
awkward.
you that.
and
I
Joel,
can say this is
I
why
wanna hear- you have more fond memories of it than
I'm
both of us
defensive.
do.
Well, it's just another one of those I remember. You know, obviously the earliest memory is another VHS tape. That is one I remember specifically. Again, when we had our VHS collection of movies, we watched over and over and over and over and over again. You know, and I just hold a special place in my heart because of the humor, and I feel like it's just woven into the fabric of my very being at this point.
Mm.
So I don't know.
I have
and
more
I'm
of
glad
a
of that for you.
Thanks.
yeah. That's good.
Maybe
I
I
have-
should have watched it when I was a kid.
Well, Spencer, I'll give you this. I have more of an emotional attachment to the second one, and I'll get more into that on our next episode. But
I
I have
remember parts of the
another
second
memory. I do too. Well, given
It was
that
on
what I
TV
just
once.
said. But when we first moved into our new house over here in Fruitport back in 2008, I remember one of the first times I think I had my TV and all that set up in my room, and my room was clean. I was cleaning, I was vacuuming it. And afterwards or before, I was playing Ghostbusters, the video game, the Atari published game that was written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis.
Mhm.
The game was written by them, and they treated it as Ghostbusters 3. And it had all the original cast members back doing the voiceovers. You need to check it out, Joel. It might be on sale digitally.
Are we?
But
how new is
It's actually very good. Huh?
that? Are you talking about the one that the 2009?
It came out in like 2009,
Yeah. Okay.
and it just got remastered a couple years ago.
Well, yeah. Hot
And
damn.
re-released. It's a very good game. Very good.
Oh no, we're making
But I have
Spencer
an
yawn again.
attachment to that movie too.
No, it's a
but
cat.
we can get into it if I'm pretty much done. We can get
All right,
into
let's
it.
go. Act 1. Ray Finkel's mom is a librarian, and some books float around, and then she gets flashed by a ghost. Peter Venkman tries to bone a student at the college he works at, but his buddy Ray Stantz claims to have figured out some ghost technology or something. You guys are going to have to fill me in on some of the little details. They get called to the library with their other colleague, Egon Spengler, and find ghost jizz and an old lady ghost that turns into a demon. They get booted from the university and they buy an old fire station to start their own ghost hunting company called Ghostbusters. They get their first customer, Dana, or is it Donna?
Dana.
Dana Barrett, who just witnessed some eggs pop out of their carton and they cooked on their own. And then a demon fortress is in her fridge. Venkman horns out on her and goes to check her out. I mean, check her apartment out. He finds nothing but tries to force a relationship. They get called to a haunted hotel where they actually capture a green ghost. And then montage of their growing fame and credibility and success takes place and the business is booming. First note I want to say real quick, I think one of the reasons that it kind of took me out of it is everything just happens. Like, did I miss a conversation where they were talking about becoming ghost hunters? What's their job at the university?
You totally fucking missed it then. Yeah,
What's
it happens.
the background?
Dude, okay, so the dean lets them go from the university.
Yeah.
Right?
Because their research
they're
shit,
clowns, essentially.
according to them, yeah.
And so...
Not credible.
And this is in my notes even. So I always remember this part because I always think that Venkman is breaking out into a musical during this conversation. So
what does he start singing?
Call it fate, call it luck, call it karma. And I thought
he's coming.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's later.
But anyway, that's the convo. They're all bummed, but he's like, no, Venkman is like, we start our own business, paranormal investigations and stuff like that. And then they're sharing a fifth of rum or whatever. And he's like, well, how do we fund it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a great part.
I grew up in that house. That was my parents' house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that or whatever they said.
Which also is a note. I'll say right off the bat here, I have in my notes. It's like, it's rich that, why am I blanking on it? Stance is whining to Venkman about, you didn't even try to negotiate. Okay, you're the one that pulls up in a shit box to the shit box fire station that you didn't even bother to negotiate.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like,
is that a hearse?
I think
because
so.
I find it hilarious that they're.
I feel like it's an old ambulance, actually. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it would be even more funny, which is a joke they do in the 2016 movie, by the way. If it was a hearse, just being the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But sidebar, I was just at Target earlier today. They had a whole bunch of premium Legos, and the Ecto 1 was on the shelf. It's $230. It looks so good. I really want it.
I know.
Or whatever the sound is.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Great.
I like the car.
Oh, good.
Chicks dig the car.
It was just weird. Like, stuff just awkwardly happened.
They're
in the hotel, and then, there's a ghost, and there's no reaction. It's, hey, all right, I got him here.
Okay, I'll give you one on that, Spencer.
Like, okay.
That goes into some of the weird pacing issues.
Yeah, there's just
to me, it's not so much that things just happen. It's just that it happens really quickly.
Yeah.
It happens really quickly. Like, they build these proton packs off screen. They get the fire station all up together. It would have been cool to see like a time-lapse video if they had that
Maybe
technology.
That's what it is for me. Things just, we see stuff and there's no like
but
when
it's
she
to
gets
get
home.
the plot going, yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine. I guess.
And why is it every character
nowadays.
carrying groceries has to have lettuce or greens sticking out the top?
Healthy, dude.
I don't know. I get where you're getting at, Spencer. The whole would have been nice to see, like the containment system. Like, okay, well they just have that, I guess. So that part, yeah, but in a sense, I saw enough of that, like I said, with the shitbox car that he rolls up. Okay, they're beating it. Then they get the sign. We saw that. It's like we saw him purchase the fucking fire station. That's good enough for me, personally. You know, and we
also have to consider the budget of the movie as well, on what we can show and how much film we have or whatever, how much we can pay the crew. But there's an interesting story about the name of the movie.
I'm just going to play it. I was just going to suggest it. So while we're talking about them starting the business stuff, this is courtesy of Watch Mojo, which is courtesy of they grabbed it from a little bit here from Movies That Made Us on Netflix, talking about
fantastic series. Check it out.
Origins of the Ghostbusters name and some issues they ran into.
we discovered that the name Ghostbusters was owned by a company called Filmation. Lemmy kept saying, you got to cover this. Got to cover it. Don't shoot it just as Ghostbusters. Call it Ghost Breakers, too.
Because of this, the name of the movie was up in the air throughout production. In fact, many of the movie shots that featured the name Ghostbusters had to be shot twice with the name replaced with Ghost Breakers.
Ghost Breakers. So it's almost
Nobody-
Ghost
That's
Cool.
Breakers.
That video wasn't
What?
choppy like the other ones have been.
Oh,
Right,
good.
right.
Even doing
That
it
was
right
nice.
this time.
I like how in that scene that they're talking about with that sign, he says, "Yep, you think people will be able to see that?
Yeah.
You think no?
You don't think it's too subtle, do you?
Yeah,
Yeah. Love that.
I think you guys
just love
replaying
everything.
the lines is funnier than them in the movie.
Because they're so, dude.
So
Fucking
it's making
every
me
line
appreciate it more.
Venkman
Bill
says
Murray-
in this movie is
yes.
is
The
quotable.
sarcasm is on point.
Good.
I love it.
good.
It's
You
one
just
of my
don't
favorite
even
parts.
know, bro. You just don't
Like
even
when-
know.
Hey,
Like when they're at the
I'm
Sedgwick
excited to see the
Hotel
second one.
and they knock the chandelier down. Oh, that was my fault. That was all my fault. It's okay. The table broke the fall.
Yeah. And the flowers are still standing.
I've always wanted to try this. I've always wanted to try this. Or when they're going up the elevator, I think we should split up. Yeah. We can
This
make
is
more
just going to
damage
be
that
the
way.
show. Is us tormenting Spencer for 2 hours with
Well,
quoting.
I'm not. It's actually
movie.
helping because I'm gonna have to give it another watch.
It's so
Bankman,
good.
At
this
some
is
point.
it. This is
And-
it.
and
We
give it
finally
its-
discovered it,
its-
Bankman. We did it. I'm
its
so
due,
happy. I'm so
when I'm not
pleased.
tired.
Right.
Bill Murray.
Oh,
Well, Christian's
all right.
chopped
Well,
up
we'll
the-
see in a minute. Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. I guess one of the biggest things Christian mentioned, it, I would have liked to see them build their gear and test out their gear and have it
That
not work
takes so much
and
time.
then work. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, welcome
Well,
to movies.
Yeah, I guess. What's the name of the green ghost?
Slimer.
You didn't get the
Slimer.
name.
There's one I know.
Slimer.
You
Yep,
like
the
Slimer,
mascot.
don't you?
He was
I
basically
liked
the
him. He was
mascot,
cool.
other than Stay Puft.
Yeah, he is
I remember
the
him
yeah.
from stuff.
They have a new mascot now
I've got
for
some.
for
you guys keep
Afterlife.
Days of
talking,
Paul Rudd.
So again, another great,
Ghost Bible.
another great coffee table book you should get from Inside
Yeah.
Editions here. Ghostbusters,
Yeah, I
the
could use it as a
ultimate
coaster.
He's gonna read from
visual
the,
history.
He got
Go
it.
fuck yourself.
He got it from Ray's Occult.
Yeah, I bought it from Razor Call. I marked
Egon
some.
Spengler can
There's
rot in
like
hell.
cool concept art and a whole bunch of production stuff in these books.
I do like how each of them are their own personality and they're all very different. Like Bill Murray's just the sarcastic, and then Ray's the really like let's do this and enthusiastic, like taking everything so serious. And even in
He's
the commercial,
almost a
have
little
you blah,
too
blah, blah, and then everybody else is just like,
So
and then the Egon's just kind of the
They've got
nerdy.
What is that?
whole section on the Stay Puft.
It can't be.
You look at
It
some of
can't
these,
be.
like some of these concept art images, even
Yeah.
kind of look like what they did in Afterlife, like for the little guys, you know.
Oh,
But I don't know, just
What?
some
we
interest-
gotta not.
No, that
mention-
was in the trailer. I
It
saw
wasn't the
those
fucking
guys.
trailer.
Okay.
And dude,
You're
how
a
cool is
trailer.
this? You want to see their equipment? There you go, Spencer. Buy this fucking book. It's got the whole cross section,
Of
I
the
don't think I
proton
will.
pack.
and that's an early concept, obviously.
See,
Yeah, it looks like an
it's-
oxygen tank. Look at that.
Yeah.
Or
I
is that
hate
I
the
guess I
Fulmer,
just need
maybe.
things. I need things fed to me more. That's
the
my
thing
problem.
about this? It's funny to think about this too, because Ghostbusters has become this sort of like iconic, legendary franchise to a certain group of fans. And you'll know what I'm talking about when I say it's become almost like a Star Wars legacy thing when we get further down the line here.
Yeah.
But
Made it 29
anyway,
minutes.
back to here. This
There's just always going to be one.
Let's make a
Oh,
point.
look at this.
Let's really try not to in the next one. That'll be fun.
what?
Okay, Dad. Laying on the rule.
Oh, we
Go
gotta
take a
mention.
nap.
We
We'll
gotta
just
mention
try
the
it.
music, like when they're in the library.
Music's good.
Or the opening with the whistling
And
and
I
all
love
that, and the theremin.
But I also love the, you know, the piano,
I think my favorite piece was
the theme song.
The Ray Park
Yeah.
song, yeah. But I love when they're in the library, checking out where that lady encountered that ghost.
Flashed.
Or Ray Finkel's mom, yeah. I like
And
that.
the
I knew you were
were
going to
in.
say that.
The laces were in. Ma'am, we have no idea what you're talking about. But her laces are a little loose. That's what I was hoping for.
And
but
Egon Spengler can rot in hell.
that would have been funny. I would have laughed at that.
But I love when they're down there. They're looking around. First of all, oh, guys, look at this. Symmetrical book stacking, just like the Philadelphia mass turbulence of 1947.
You're right.
Yep.
No human being could stack books like this.
Yes.
See?
After that, I know he's not even laughing. You're not laughing. You're not laughing, Ray.
I like that.
You're chanting. And then right after that, Ray says, "Listen," and you hear that piano, da-da-da, that little motif that they do at the beginning of Afterlife during the opening credits.
Okay, thanks for that.
Look at that musical ring theory.
Ooh.
I'm super pumped for that movie because Paul Rudd, man.
I'm
That's who
gonna
I'm
give you
excited about.
some info right now. It's actually my favorite one.
Don't.
So
What?
Afterlife's my favorite out of them all.
Okay. It'll probably end up being mine. I'm assuming.
Because it's new and it's not
Because
boring.
Paul Rudd.
You can even tell. They do a little bit of set design to kind of show Peter Venkman's character too, because there's like pinups in his lab and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, is there a
On the
baby
wall.
in the second one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm remembering that correctly.
child.
I'm excited about that one. Man.
Eagle. A child. That guy's hair.
Janusz.
Yeah, that
Fucking
guy.
Janusz.
Yeah. Oscar, the baby.
But we'll get to that in the second one. We don't need to talk about that
Yeah,
right
we'll
now.
get that. No, we don't need to talk about that right now.
There's one thing in this movie that I like that they do, and they do this maybe 3 or 4 times. I might be missing one, but they do, even in the script, it's the little things that matter as well. How they make things make sense within the world of the movie and in the script, like cause and effect sort of thing.
Yeah. It's,
Like when he slams the book on the table for Egon and startles him, and then they cut to the librarian looking over, and thus that's why he approaches them. That causes him to approach them about the ghost in the basement.
oh, okay. I mean, that's...
Because they cut to the... I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's just... The one
Right.
that's a bigger deal is when Dana gets home from going grocery shopping and the TV... Oh, Dana, your TV was on. The landlord complained they was saying it was too loud, so I just turned mine on louder so that I would get yelled at too. Whatever he said. But she gets on in the apartment and you see the Ghostbusters ad. And that's how
Mhm.
she knows about them later on. That's how she knows how to call them.
Oh, technical difficulties over on in Spencer's camp.
We lost Spencer. Let's mark it in.
I thought you were going to go a little deeper. Yeah.
Please do. If I'm missing something that you think,
Well,
yeah,
I thought
that's fine.
I thought you were getting into more of the like overarching like plot of the way they explain things. Like, I feel like it is plausible. Like what happened in this movie. You know, if we did live in that parallel universe where paranormal energies or whatever could climax or culminate to a point, like, yeah, I feel like that's what it would look like. You know, I feel like that's how it would happen. You know, some freaks in a cult build a building to be
Worship
a
their deity.
superconductor of, you know, and all this technical stuff. And like,
Spectral energy, yeah.
works for me. Like, you know, I don't know.
Well, you suspend your disbelief.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's fantasy, but it's fantasy grounded in real world with real science.
Real world.
It is. Like,
yeah. Gritty New York.
Gritty New York, and also, but you know, they obviously do their between between Spengler and Stantz, they do their due diligence of fucking talking your ear off about the science of it all, and it's maybe over explaining in some areas of how the science works with the fantasy. But see, that's why it's I don't get I don't get where Spencer's coming from, other than just rejoining the call.
Yeah, what I miss?
Nothing.
No, you're talking about plausibility.
He was just talking about how
stuff,
yeah.
If ghosts were real, hey.
No, okay, yeah, but
This is how I imagine it would be. They'd be green and weird and.
Well, that's something that does kind of take me out of it a little bit. How cartoonish the specters are,
right,
in the world of the movie. That takes me out of the realism of it.
And that
I also really appreciate the. Because I didn't know that Dana got possessed. Like it was a demon. It was like the devil right there coming out of her fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was cool.
Speaking of the fridge, that's one of those scenes. It's one of those things that, how you watch a movie over and over and over again. It took me forever to even, maybe I even caught it in the last few times I've seen this movie, for me to realize that the doggy was saying Zool when it opened.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was saying Zool until, like, obviously she mentions it, but it's like, I personally, I never have been able to hear that until the last maybe few times just one of those weird things. Freaky things.
It was weird that when she opened it, it was like a little city in there.
Yeah.
Kind of jarring, but I appreciated it.
Damn it, there was a whole thing in here, and there was a monster, and there was a light.
All this junk food.
Yeah.
Does that thing even work? Well, I think so. That little...
I don't know what that is.
That made me feel a little uncomfortable, because the way he's doing that and where his hand is positioned when he's dousing the apartment.
That made you uncomfortable. That whole exchange at the end, that whole thing went way south with Dana. See, that's very cringeworthy how he... Yeah. I'm going to go for broke. I'm madly in love with you, and blah, 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 blah.
Mm.
And then she threw him
Well,
out
and
of
the
his
bedroom
life.
comment. Like...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't need to go in there. Nothing happened in there.
What a crime.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a crime. And then you can see her facial great acting by everyone. Really everyone in this movie.
I'm sorry?
There's something that the warden?
Yeah.
Who?
Excuse me. It's the warden.
I don't know
the fuck are you talking about?
How do you not? She's the warden. Guys,
the warden?
She's the warden from Holes.
Oh.
Okay, clarify. It's like there's no fucking
that just
warden
reminded me
in
of that
movie.
clip I sent you about that Laura Ingraham. It was in you.
Yeah.
We didn't do a show about the measles.
What? I never did this.
No, it was on you.
It's on Netflix. It's called You. It's called the show is You. I don't have a show on.
What got me was
we don't need to talk
what
about
he-
Fox News' finest.
What got me was when he was like this. He's like, "Never mind, we're moving." I can't.
Funny
but anyway,
clip.
that scene, acting.
Yep,
I'm kind
acting
of pivoting
happens in
here.
that scene.
I went from Sigourney Weaver,
Barely,
great
but it's
performance.
there.
That
Oh,
whole
fuck
scene that whole scene is just. I think that scene is used as a bad example of the misogyny within the movie, the sexism within the movie, the objectification that this movie is kind of notorious for, other than the humor well, that's what it's known
But here's
for,
the thing. I think
I'll let you talk. Yeah,
I
I'm
think
done.
that in all of that, Dana is the saving grace, because she still is like, get the fuck out. She is still, she's rather a progressive figure for the time, I think, Dana Barrett, because, now, like she's
like her in Alien, like Sigourney in Alien. That's
that
a very
too
forward-looking role too.
She's the warden.
Yep.
All these
but
power characters.
here you have a strong, intelligent female lead character, and I think that for the 80s, It was better. I mean,
I
they
do
were
like that
better,
she's a
but
musician.
about that. But we still weren't quite there. I don't think in the 80s. And I think Dana Barrett is one of those characters that stands out as kind of leading the charge. So
Mhm.
I've got
Makes
much
Christian
respect.
Well,
uncomfortable.
Samus Aran in the Metroid
Oh
games
fuck!
Here we go.
was actually she is named, or the villain she fights, Ridley, is named after Ridley Scott because Metroid is based off of Alien, the movie, and Samus was revealed to be a woman at the end of the game. Like everyone thought it was a guy until her suit comes off, and it's basically her in like a bikini, which wasn't very PC back then.
Sweet.
But she
I had a
was one of
Game Boy
the
game.
first heroines of video gaming back in the day, based off Alien, hence based off Sigourney Weaver. She's well known for being in
there
those
you go.
roles.
You brought it back. I was
I
waiting
brought
for
it
the
back.
connective
I didn't
tissue.
just
I
bring
had-
it up for now.
I had a-
Xenoblade.
I had
Oh,
a Game
get out.
Boy game. What is it?
Metroid. I remember
Metroid.
that.
It was probably Metroid
I had a
2.
Game Boy game.
Yeah,
And
Metroid 2 Return
you
to
turn into
Samus.
a ball and you can crawl up walls. And then she was in, Super Smash Bros. The first one. She's one of the better characters to play with.
Metroid Prime is one of the best games ever. Just to let
Okay.
you know.
Live
But
action movie. Here we
Back on
come.
topic. And that kind of ties back to Ghostbusters in a way too, but I'll get on that in the next episode.
All right.
I bet you will.
What was I talking about before I went sideways? Oh, the acting. Dan Aykroyd, I get the enthusiasm of his character, but some of it comes off a little
Like he's trying a little too hard.
college or state, like high school performance level.
Well, that's what Joel liked about it.
Or I don't want to insult him because I like Dan Aykroyd. The thing I'm trying to get across is the level of enthusiasm comes across as very childish to me, and maybe that's supposed to be part of the character. Like when they're at the
It
firehouse. Whoa! Does this thing actually work?
Yeah,
Guys,
that bit was weird.
This
I'm gonna
is
go get
so
my stuff.
cool. I'm gonna go get my stuff. Guys, this is so cool. We should stay here tonight. We should sleep here. Yeah? I'll go get my stuff. And the way he says that, it's like it doesn't sound it sounds very B-level acting to me.
Well, he's a B-level
But
actor, so what do you
Ghostbusters
expect?
is kind of a
Okay.
B movie in a sense. I mean, they didn't expect it to get this big moving forward.
Well, I can see why.
Well, if we were talking about the humble beginnings of Ghostbusters, I have another clip. I think this is an opportune moment to talk about
All right.
original script, original casts that they had slated. So here we go.
It was me, John Belushi, and Eddie Murphy. We were supposed to be the original Ghostbusters.
Dan Aykroyd penned the script with himself, the late John Belushi, and Eddie Murphy in mind. The lineup wasn't the only thing that changed significantly. According to director
That
Ivan
would've been a
Reitman,
great
the original
cast.
screenplay was far too complex and long, which led to substantial rewrites.
The story is way too
Would have liked that
outlandish.
better.
Outer space, sci-fi, monsters floating around in sort of spaceships.
Oh, how different things could have been.
When Harold came on as a writer, he just
And
naturally
better.
said, well, I want to play a part in this. Nobody objected to that.
And better.
I'm
Okay,
so
so
glad
you
they
would have
didn't.
preferred a Ghostbusters on like fucking Pluto? Like what?
No, Eddie Murphy.
Okay, well, what about the script when they're talking about this, half this shit or almost all of it taking place in outer space? That
Oh
would've
yeah,
been-
not that.
Yeah,
part.
that would have been
Yeah.
stupid. I'll
That'd been
admit
weird.
that.
Eddie Murphy.
weird.
That would have been.
Eddie Murphy
Agree.
in the role of Peter Venkman.
Is that who he was slated for?
Yeah, that's who he was slated to be.
That'd have been great.
Interesting.
That'd have been
Wait,
perfect.
or was it John Belushi who's supposed to play?
I bet he was
Venkman.
gonna.
Yeah, because
We just
I bet
watched
you
the clip. Was I
he's
even
more
paying
that,
attention?
He's
Come
more
on.
that character.
but I would
Like
say
Eddie Murphy would have been. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
oh
I
god,
go into the hotel. I don't know. I can't do a Eddie Murphy, but
Jay
oh, man.
Baruchel, or not Jay Baruchel, excuse me, Jay Farrell, not Jay Baruchel.
Yeah,
Where am I going with
He's
that?
perfect.
Yeah, here's my Eddie Murphy impression.
What? He doesn't
That's
sound
okay.
like
supposed
that
to be
at
Jay
all.
Baruch. Jay Baruchel kind of talks like this. My
Oh,
friend Seth,
okay, yeah, I
Seth
gotcha.
Rogen.
You're right.
I don't even
Yeah.
like him. I'm thinking of that movie. This is the end again.
I gotta watch that.
I'll come
Anyway,
wherever I
how about
want,
Ghostbusters?
Franco.
How about Ghostbusters?
Yeah, Spencer, bring us back around to Ghostbusters.
Are we ready for Act 2 yet?
I'm ready for Act 2.
Christian, your
Yeah.
game corner. You ready for Act 2?
Except I do have to point out how
Naturally.
kind of going. This is connected to what you said earlier, Spencer, about
Sure.
the pacing issues. How we have Peter Venkman goes from not believing in any of it. Like, you guys have been talking every schizophrenic in the 5 boroughs who blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Ray, they moved 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
the migration. And then he goes from being a very big skeptic to cynic, I'll say, to then, gung-ho, we're going to go in business. We're going to do this. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
But now that I'm going back around on that, doesn't really mean that much because he sees
Yeah, I
the
didn't
ghost
know
with
where
his own eyes.
Not sure where you're going.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Christian often likes to
Well, don't
fill
be
the
sorry,
empty
I just-
air with words. Go ahead with
No,
Act
it's
2.
fine. Well, I gotta wait until he gives me the okay, Joel. It's kind of our thing.
Don't do it. Don't wait for him.
I'm good.
Act 2. Now that the Ghostbusters are off and running, some environment inspector, some guy.
Environmental Protection Agency.
Yeah,
Walter
he
Peck.
wants to shut him down. They also gained a new employee, Winston Zeddemore. One night, Dana is getting ready for her date with Venkman, and Louis Tully, her neighbor, is having a party. Dana gets pulled away by demon hands, and a demon dog, Gatekeeper, possesses her and goes after Louis, and he gets possessed and becomes the Keymaster. They need each other to end the world. Louis ends up with... I put... It autocorrected to Efren. No, he ends up with Egon for testing, and he realizes he's possessed. The environmental guy gets a warrant and flips the switch of the ghost trap device, setting free all the ghosts on the city. The Ghostbusters go to jail, and they figure out that the demon dog was once a doctor and a cult leader who gained followers to end the world or something. Louis the Keymaster finds Dana the Gatekeeper, and they kiss, and they start the destruction. The Ghostbusters needs to convince the mayor to let them fight the ghosts. Let me just say another thing that was weird. Once they were possessed, they did not act like a demon would act. He was just kind of goofy. Like, why is the demon goofy? And she was goofy, and she's just, I want you inside of me.
Yeah, I didn't like
there was one line that I think I was like, okay. When she, I want you inside of me, and he goes, well, I think there's already a couple people in there.
Yeah.
I like that line.
I like that line.
Good. That was pretty funny.
Sounds like there's at least 2 people in there already.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was my favorite line.
Yeah.
I like that scene. And I like that he didn't, he pulled an Austin Powers. He didn't take advantage of her.
I was worried about that,
4
Spencer,
feet
because
above
I
the
don't
covers.
remember. I didn't remember that scene. I didn't remember that scene all that well. So I was like, "Oh, please don't tell me Peter uses this to like get in."
But why
edgewise.
is Louis?
He did let her kiss him. He did let her kiss him for a second, and then he stopped.
Why is
But
he's such a goof? This demon dog who's just like evil, and then it gets in him, and he's, I'm the Keymaster, you the Gatekeeper. Like,
yeah, and let's
why
not
is he so
talk
goofy?
about the implication of the horse. Like,
the
Well,
horse?
you could say the same about Dana and why she's such a seductress. And
That's what I'm saying.
well,
Yeah,
he's
why?
almost gonna do with the horse. Like,
And what's the deal? Why does the demon what is they were to get? Why do they separate if they need each other?
hold on,
'Cause they were
Spencer.
in the
This is
fridge
how
together.
it is. One is the
Weren't they in the
Keymaster,
fridge?
one's the Gatekeeper, one
Yes.
is Zool, one is Vince Clortho. They need to have a union in front of the altar to summon Gozer.
But weren't they
The
just
Gozerian.
there? They were there in the fridge.
No, they have to
Well, no,
find
he was the
somebody.
statue. One of them was a
Yes,
statue.
yes, and they
Why
need
did
to
he
find
leave?
someone
well, they
to
both
possess.
were. They both are.
Well, he didn't leave. He was outside. He was outside that restaurant. Remember when he got possessed and he's walking around looking around for the
There you go.
gatekeeper.
Yeah, but why was he so goofy?
I don't know. I don't have an explanation other than that maybe it's
Did
amplifying
you want
his
him to
goofiness.
demonically bark for the entire movie instead of have dialogue?
No, but it would have been a nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. They played to Rick Moranis' strengths.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is
and
your
he was
name?
Great.
I'm Vince
But
Clortho, the Keymaster,
it
and I
would have
was the
been-
fifth of the Sumerian army of the 1760s.
It
There
would
you
have
go.
been a
Says.
nice little contrast of like, this is how it usually is. I'm having a party. Who brought the dog? And it would, if he got sinister and serious, it would have been a night like, okay, whoa, Lewis, you weren't like that
It
before.
wouldn't be half the movie.
It would have
is,
added
though.
a,
Nah.
but then it wouldn't have had the humor.
There's that little odd scene where hey pal, he carries the,
I'm just gonna say
thing.
it's
I
ironic.
drive it.
It's ironic that
and then
you
he goes,
that you bring up the
and
horse
bulges his
scene because I
eyes.
have in my notes. Oh, let's see here.
his eyes
Joel
turn
took
red,
notes.
not bulge.
Of course I did. I said Vince
a rarity.
Clortho talking to the horse is Christian talking about anime to anybody.
Wow.
I get it. That makes
First
sense.
of
That makes
all-
that scene a whole lot better.
Why don't you just take yourself off the roll for paneling animes then, you asshole? You don't know
Money,
shit
bro.
about anime. You don't watch Ruby. You don't watch Pokemon.
Mm.
You don't watch My Hero.
Yeah, Joel, why don't you?
Shh, they don't know
why
that.
don't you? Hey, why don't you not take a gig that will get you exposure and get you a paycheck?
Yeah,
Just because
how
you don't know the
fucking dumb of
material.
me.
How about you don't do that?
Yeah,
Oh, you know
You
what, Spencer?
Idiot.
I can't wait till he's on stage and he mispronounces one of the names. So you play
so we have,
Izuka. You play Izuka Deku.
that's why
We
I
have Xenophore.
researched the fuck out of them and make sure I
We have
pronounce everything
Xenophore
correctly.
5. Xenophore 5, we have the cast here. And tell me, so this is a video game? And a Xenophore is the
Xenophore?
It's not
genitalia of the,
Xenophore, but
xenomorph?
Xenoblade.
Forbes
So the
500.
xenomorphs have the genitalia called Xenophore. Gotcha. And they procreate with their mouth.
I'm gonna
The little
fucking kill
cha-cha-cha-cha thing that comes out of their
you
mouth,
and
it-
bury you in the sand.
All right. So that their genitalia is in their throat, it comes out, it eats. Gotcha. And we also have the Power Rangers
Okay, that would
coming up next, guys. Thank you.
I would love to do a Power Rangers panel, but anyway, that's besides the point.
Have
That would
you?
be
Grand Rapids
cool.
Comic
That
Con
would be
coming
cool.
up here pretty soon. The
I'll teach you to do a dig at me about anime.
11th through 3rd. Let me
Yeah,
check.
Joel.
The 11th, November 11th through the 13th. Everybody,
Say hi to Matt Wood for
yeah,
me.
I will.
Who's Matt Wood?
Actually, I'm going to be going. I'm going to be attending. Would you? Never mind.
We can discuss this off air.
Yes, I'm not talking about that right now. We're talking about Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters.
Oh, are we
Act
now?
2. Act 2.
It really ramps up.
I know one of the famous, well, of course, the Twinkie scene.
Why is that so famous? I heard him talking about it. It could make it big. Like, why is that such
Well,
a famous
he's like,
thing?
well, he's comparing what's on the horizon. Egon, the whole movie, he's sensing something big on the
Yeah.
horizon. That's a definite total ring theory we need to include right now.
Good
So
Elaine.
that comes into play. But he's like, I feel something big's going to happen. Well, how big? And then he uses a Twinkie as an example. Well, if this means this,
Gotcha.
then the amount of spectral energy release would be, this Twinkie would be 335 feet long and weigh 600 pounds, or whatever the parameters were, the measurements were. That's a big Twinkie.
Spencer still doesn't.
I got a big Twinkie for you right now.
No, I care.
So
I
I
didn't get why that was such a
what
big
else?
famous scene.
I caught on to something.
What else? Do you guys take
Maybe
it
it's
away?
nothing though. During this viewing of Ghostbusters, this whole thing with pencil neck, dickhead, fucking EPA guy, and the whole everything with him. I was like, wait, is this a commentary on government regulations? Was that a thing? Like, was that a big deal at the time? Because the way how they hit on it more than once in the film. And
Say
so,
that
I
again,
don't know.
Joel.
was it a commentary about like government regulations back then in the 80s or even now? You know what I'm saying? How they made a whole big deal about it.
Is he
I don't
laughing?
know. I don't.
What are you laughing about? Him laughing is making me laugh.
Oh,
What are
wow.
you
We
laughing
lost Spencer
about?
again. Still laughing, not actually.
Just don't.
I said something, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I thought about him. Is I.
When you
Oh,
don't even describe it. when old pencil neck dickhead fate environmental pecker pencil pencil neck. Oh man,
pencils.
that was the funniest thing about this movie so far.
You're welcome.
Arrest these men.
Yeah.
Oh.
They caused it, and they caused the explosion. Your mother.
It's true.
But he caused it because he flipped
I
the
know,
thing and they were
because
telling
he's
him
an
not to.
asshole.
Right, and then he tries
That's why
to
he's
pin
on.
on
I
it.
don't like the way he talks either.
Why did he
You
want
know
to
what
shut him
is-
down?
The magic word. It's available.
Yeah, his cadence is. I order you to shut this down right now. Like the way he talks, like
So when he shut it off,
I
all the
gave you a
things
chance,
escaped,
Mr.
right?
Venkman.
Yeah, because they shut
you
down the
That's
decided
what
to-
happened.
Yeah.
See, I would have liked
Yeah.
more of a scene of that. Well, now we have to go capture all these ghosts, and then here's the big boss. So these ghosts, they just left them
Well,
out there. Does that get
they
addressed?
captured all. That's a good question.
Does that get addressed in the next one at all? You can
Sadly,
tell me. It's
not-
not a
well,
spoiler.
No, you need to wait for the second one.
Yeah, we're not
in
gonna
order
tell you. But
Fine.
I want to go back to I had another additional note on economical commentary or possibility of here. Not only the peckerhead guy, but
Pencil neck.
Pencil neck.
oh, okay.
Dickless, suckless.
Venkman and Janine,
Suckless,
they
huh?
had that exchange there where it's like, well, you could find a job in the, and he's like basically insulting her position or whatever.
Oh yeah, that wasn't
And
cool.
it wasn't cool, but it also like maybe it probably meant to be a commentary because she says, I quit better jobs than this. And it's like, wow, that's kind of that hits home today, even, like how the job market is. And so it's kind of like timeless. There's a lot of timeless economical commentary going on in Ghostbusters that I guess I never really picked up on until now. Probably because
You
it's
mentioned the
election season.
EPA.
I'm thinking about it, but
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned the EPA could be a commentary on environmental regulations.
yeah, the guy and how they make such a big deal about how there's such a big back and forth and whatever.
But is it a commentary against them or for them?
I feel like at the time they were trying to make a commentary
like-
against like restrictive, regulations or whatever. But
you could think of it because this is the 80s. It was probably Reagan. I don't know who was the president
Mhm.
in 1984 and during 1984.
Well, let me tell you.
He's going to look it up. But I think it could also be a commentary. But actually, wait, maybe you're right. I'm effectively saying the same thing as you,
Oh, good.
Joel.
So 84.
Because they were going way gung ho about the EPA regulations when in
it
reality
was Ronald.
Ronald McDonald.
Ronald Reagan.
There's
okay.
never a movie where he's not the president or Nixon's not the president. No movie believes in any other president besides those two or a fictional one.
George Bush was in Transformers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Go get me some ding dongs.
There's also a
or
movie
whatever he
about him
said.
too. But like, isn't that weird how movies like it's always Reagan or Nixon because that's the most interesting original era. Give us a movie during the Herbert Hoover years,
Right.
or I don't know, the Coolidge. Give us
Taft.
Calvin Coolidge.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
just
Taft.
a random president.
Yeah.
Taft getting stuck in his
Yeah.
bathtub.
Give us a movie about Barack. Honestly, give us that, will you?
Okay,
Please.
well,
I don't want it.
Wow.
But they already. Joel, Spencer. They already did make a movie
yeah,
about
we don't.
him.
What's all
It
this?
was a show.
It was a show, Barry, wasn't it?
And wasn't it?
Yeah,
not
which is
great?
funny
Not
'cause there's
not the
another
one with
show
yeah,
called
not the one
Barry. It's probably
what's
better.
his face, Bill Hader. But Joel, going earlier about what we talked about with like cause and effect and like pushing the narrative, what the main thing I was pointing out earlier was that they paid attention in the script, not just to the big events or to the realism of it that you were getting to, or the plausibility of it, or the fun aspect of thinking this could happen.
Right.
But just the little things they paid attention to kind of push the story along and make things that people might question. Like, you distracted me.
Well, get undistracted.
Hold on.
Go
Let me
ahead,
mark
buddy.
this down so I know when to edit it out.
Oh yeah, edit this out. Edit yourself talking. That's a good idea.
For
No.
once.
Joel, leave him alone.
The thing that I'm saying right now, they pay
It's not
attention to the
much.
thing.
Get to
Shut
it.
up. They pay attention to the little things that people might nitpick about.
Yeah.
Like Comic Book Man from The Simpsons. Or whatever his name, comic book guy. Like, oh, well, she's screaming like hell in her apartment. Why didn't Lewis come and help? Because he's having a party.
Right.
Like, they covered that in the script.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't hear.
When she gets the hands come up and the whole kerfuffle.
She's screaming bloody murder. Yeah. But none of her other neighbors came to help.
Which, can we just, also, Spencer, like, if nothing else,
What?
the practical effects in this movie are of the
They're good.
higher caliber. I think the practical
They're better
effects.
than Hocus Pocus 2.
Right. So
Yeah,
at
Every
least
effect
there's
in this
that.
movie is better than every effect in Hocus Pocus 2. I'll say that.
Hocus Pocus 2's effects. Yeah, we went over that. And I sent you that video. Like, they even did do the wire. They put them on wires, and it still looked bad.
Yeah.
I don't
But
understand.
anyway, we left.
this,
we left
this
Hocus
movie.
Pocus in the dust.
I'm sorry, the Zool effect wasn't very good. When it comes through the door and it flops over the table, you can tell it's rotoscoped or
Whoa.
composited in there. We're talking about 84 though, so
Well, yeah, the dog. Well,
yeah,
Vince. When
in
Vince,
the budget again,
the dog that will be Vince busts through Lewis's door. It's like, woo, that was bad. That was a rough effect.
Or
But not
when
for 84.
Gozer, we'll get to Gozer late in the next act.
Gozer's the
I don't.
he's the or she
They.
it is the they are the
It can be whatever it wants.
see, progressive. They're the that's he played by don't tell me. What's the singer?
It's not Prince.
No, not Prince. Who's the
What are you even talking about?
Starboy or whatever? Who am I
Bowie?
thinking of? Yeah,
David
That's what he
Bowie.
reminded me of. That's who he reminded me of.
All of that for a flopped joke. Good job.
That wasn't that wasn't a joke. I was saying that's who he reminded me of. Act 3, I have some questions about when we get there.
Mhm.
Like the guys, like the David Bowie's plot, the choose your own adventure, didn't really make sense to me.
Can
You might
you
have to fill me
pretend,
in.
Spencer? Can you pretend for 1 second that I don't know anything about
David
football,
Bowie or football.
or David Bowie or Starboy, and just get down to the.
You want me to pretend?
You didn't
Okay,
study.
so in football,
You never
Oh,
you have
studied.
11 guys on defense and 11 guys on offense. The offense's goal is to take this egg-shaped football and get it into the end zone. That scores points. That's 7 points. That's a touchdown. If they don't get in the end zone, then they can, if they're close enough, kick a field goal. They kick the ball over the goalpost. That's 3 points. But they have plays. They run plays in different formations. And the defense also has different plays in different formations. So there's the linemen, and then there's the skill positions. That's the wide receivers and the running backs and the quarterback. The quarterback either throws or hands off to the running back. And the defense tries to penetrate the hole, kind of like Joel's philosophy. And
My
then
head's going to penetrate the
they-
wall pretty soon.
All right.
Okay.
We're talking about the
You
head
know
on your
what?
shoulders, right?
Listen to George Carlin explain the difference between baseball and football, and you'll get it. He does a great job.
I do appreciate the mayor scene, and that's where you get the whole dogs and cats living together. It's mass hysteria.
It's true.
And
Hey,
the fact
man
that
has no dick.
he uses dickless here. Is this true?
What was the doctor? What was the story? Did I get that right? There was like a doctor cult leader.
No.
We should.
No.
This is all
Ivo
Act 3
Shandor.
stuff, right?
No,
They
this
talked
is
about
in
it
the
while they were in the
prison.
jail.
This
Oh
is
yeah,
in the jail.
yeah.
Ivo Shandor. I looked him up a little bit, which is a great piece of Ghostbusters lore.
He's in the video game that I talked about earlier.
Yeah, he's the whole ringleader of the cult that tries to bring back
The cult of
Gozer the Gozerian.
Gozer the Gozerian.
I suppose wouldn't that make a good spin-off series like Ivo Shandor
No.
and
No,
What?
absolutely
Disney Plus,
not.
buy them.
No, dude,
No.
I'd love to see
No.
like a
HBO,
Trying to-
buy them.
What are they gonna do?
there's something there. There's some magic there.
I don't think so.
I would love it. I would love
I don't
it.
want to see an Ivo
I fucking do.
Shandor.
I'd watch
Which
it.
I'm going to give you a little something to think about and chew on, Spencer.
Called From the Fridge.
A certain actor plays this character,
Ron Jeremy
In a
yeah.
movie.
I didn't see him in the movie, but I saw him in the credits. And
but
I'm like, fuck,
I'll
I
leave
missed
you.
him.
No, it's one of your favorite actors,
What?
and you've
Casey
predicted him
Kasem.
before. You've predicted him before. I did like that Casey Kasem was in
Right.
the movie.
Larry
in a cameo.
One of my favorite actors was in this movie.
No, not this movie, but he plays that character
What character?
somewhere down the line. Ivo Shandor.
One of my favorite
he's
actors.
name dropped. Yes, he's name dropped in this movie, but just keep that in mind.
Hang on.
Mull it
The
over.
actor's name
Think.
dropped?
No, the character.
Here we go back to the Fox
Casper?
News video.
Yeah, the character of Ivo Shandor.
Right. Who's one of the demon things.
No. Oh,
No.
for fuck's sake. We should just move on.
No. What,
The dog is not the doctor. That's
The
what you
dog.
said
Right.
earlier. That's why I was confused.
so,
the dog.
what are the dogs' names?
Vince Clortho and Zool.
And Zool.
I thought Zool was the big one.
What?
No, that's
Zool,
Gondor.
they're the same
that's,
size.
That's David Bowie.
Gondor?
Okay, I gotcha.
He just said a location from
Yep.
Middle Earth
Gondor.
as a being.
Right, so they're trying to get to
Fucking A.
Gordo.
Oh,
the
God.
seventh
Oh, guess what?
And freezes over in
There's
the fridge.
there's a character in Xenoblade 3 named Gondor with an H.
Okay, so there's a name drop in this movie
Not
of the
okay.
actor.
No, of the character, and you're being a fucking douche nozzle.
No, I'm not. So you're saying in a later film, one of my
Yes.
favorite actors plays
Evo.
Ivo
Vance
Shandor.
Gortho
Yes.
or whatever his name is.
Holy shit.
Yes,
Ivo Shandor?
actually, you're right on that.
So
You're
one of my
right.
favorite actors plays Evil Shindorf.
There you go. Yep.
Is it is it a blink and
okay.
you miss it?
Okay, going on the mayor scene. I do like that they gave kind of special attention to the cardinal coming in to the mayor's office. Obviously, the mayor's
you're
That
Catholic.
part was weird to me.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
part
and
was weird to me
kisses him.
too.
And then I like how he says, and not to mention, if it does, what if it doesn't work? Then it fails, we go to jail. But if it does, you potentially have just saved the lives of millions
Of registered voters.
of registered voters.
Gotta
yes.
love it.
And then it cuts to the cardinal going, nodding.
That's like this
Yeah, I know,
whole
I was like,
moment,
That's politics. Yeah.
like victory.
That's really how it is.
This is what we got to do for the people.
Moment of silence. Tells Walter Peck, get this guy out of here.
I'm gonna
fix
miss
you,
him.
Beckman. I'm gonna. Yeah. All right. What I don't get. Actually, this is where this act ends, and I'll get on. We'll talk. We can get to Act 3 real quick.
Yeah, let's get
Anyone
into
have
it.
any last
Get
mentions?
into it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll read it and we'll do it live.
That's the idea.
Oh, one
Man,
fucking
these
A.
acts are really short.
Hold on. I have to mention one more thing. And this goes into, this is a theory that Winston Winston Zeddemore decided to join the Ghostbusters to kind of, out of his curiosity of the end of times that he talked to Ray about, their little discussion in Ecto 1.
Yeah.
That little cutaway scene where they're talking about theology and whether or not they believe
The dead
in God
are rising
and
from
that
the
sort
grave.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wondered, is he going to the Ghostbusters because this was something he was interested in, like as a person of faith, and that's why he's joining the Ghostbusters, because he's kind of
I
got
wanted more from him. A little back.
investment
All
in
of a sudden,
that.
he just pops in. It's like, here's a new character for you.
Well, and that's
And also,
kind of
there's
one
a
of the
good chunk of this movie where Ray is just not around and in it.
right. Oh, and
Like,
another thing is, they're like, we
he's
got to get a
not
hold
there.
of Ray. In today's film, it would be no problem. You have a cell phone, but they didn't have those back in '84.
Right, so they had to send
So-
Slime or a Smellogram. Casper,
Act 1, Act 3. Let's go to
Act
it.
1. I don't
No,
want to
let's-
start over.
Act 3, Act 3, please.
The Ghostbusters prepare for battle with the ghosts. They head to the top of the apartment complex to take on the gatekeeper. Dana's up there with Lewis, and they're both turned into their demon dog form. The Ghostbusters get lightning finger blasted and need to figure out what form the destroyer should take. He takes the form of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as a giant. They decide the only way to defeat it is to cross their streams on their photon laser blasters. So they do that
Wow.
in the Hellgate. It works, and the marshmallow goo splatters the city, and everybody has s'mores, but the demon is destroyed. Dana and Lewis are saved. Venkman and Dana share a very awkward kiss that she looks like she is not into. As the city cheers while credits roll, and then Slimer the Green Ghost flies at the camera.
You know, you mentioned Slimer the Green Ghost, and it makes me think of, who's the big bad from Casper?
Casper and
Jafar-
Wendy, though. You're thinking of Casper.
No, I know, the big green guy. What's his name?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Look it up.
Okay.
Played
Great.
by that one English actor.
Casper Green Ghost.
Yeah, tell us.
Kabosh.
Hello. There you go.
Kabosh.
Played by who?
Played by Casper, A Spirited Beginning. Is that the Christmas movie?
No. Yeah, no.
I did.
Maybe.
We did have the Christmas one on VHS. No, it's not the Christmas one. The animated
It's
one.
Casper and Wendy. Casper meets Wendy. With
Steve.
No, I think it's called Spirited Beginnings.
A
The movie where
Spirited,
she's in there.
Beginning has Steve Guttenberg in it, and Lori Loughlin, Rodney
Yup.
Dangerfield,
Yup.
Michael McKean, Brendan Ryan Barrett, Jeremy Foley, Bill Farmer, who is Goofy, Jim Ward, Jess Harnell, James Earl Jones. I think he's Kabosh. Dude.
No, I'm thinking of who am I? Who's
James
the...
Earl Jones as Kabosh. Wow.
Okay, but
It's got a
who's the-
0% on Rotten Tomatoes, everybody.
Yeah, it's not.
But
it wasn't
anyway.
good. Who is the actor with his head in the bulb? Bro, that's what I was thinking of. Pauly freaking Shore is in that movie.
Oh.
Pauly
Yeah.
Shore.
I remember that.
And then
All right.
there's a ghost. So who are we gonna call? The Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, where can I get one of those photon lasers? Photon blaster.
It's not.
Bro, I just want to come up and rule in hell with you. All right. Cool dog. I hope he does it. Bye.
Wow.
It's not
So
a
Pauly Shore
proton
is in that
blaster.
It's a proton pack.
It's a
What'd I
proton
say?
pack. You said proton
Photon
blaster. Yeah.
It's fucking
That's
ass.
from something, though, right?
Okay,
Isn't there a
let's talk
photon
about.
blaster?
There's a
No, back up. Isn't
So-
there a photon blaster in something?
Photon is like
In,
the
like,
fallback.
Star Trek?
It's like the go-to word when you don't have anything else to call a fucking weapon.
Yeah, it's a photon laser.
Yeah, I mean, Ray says a lot of scientific gobbledygook, It's a Class 5 special apparition from the Clensforth dynasty.
What?
Okay.
I don't know. I made
Yeah,
that
you
David
up.
fucking
Bowie
did.
shows up. Why is part of
David-
this where he's like, hey, why doesn't he just kill everybody and rule the world? But he's like, hey, guys,
The
are you
word?
going to choose who you want to pick to
He turned to
destroy you?
Medea.
Like, why?
Hello.
Why? He's, hey, are you guys going to, I'll wait up here on my throne.
Mhm.
I'll finger laser you.
No.
I'll Palpatine you, but
Hey,
why? You guys pick who you want to destroy you, and I'll make it happen.
because Vince
I'll give you that.
Clortho explains that they decided what their form was going to be the last time this happened.
slore.
And I'll tell you, they knew what the thing about the slurs were. I can tell you that much. Or
Yeah,
whatever
that's not
he
the
said.
line, but it's okay.
So they defeat the thing pretty easily.
What is the line, Joel?
It's something like many.
Yeah, you don't know it either. So
Hey.
shut up. So let's talk about Act
Suck.
3.
Sucked gozer. Anyway,
Yeah, dozer.
God.
if someone asks you if you are God, you
No.
say yes.
Which that comes in later on
Right.
in a very funny moment.
That does. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
In this movie,
No,
No.
later.
guys, now it's not going to be funny to me. You guys ruined this.
We
one
didn't
for me
ruin
by talking it
anything.
up.
You're going to forget all about it. You're going to fall
You
asleep.
fucking sleep your
No,
way
I'm
through
not.
this
Paul
entire
Rudd.
series.
Paul Rudd's going to keep me awake. Paul Rudd, Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, that other chick, and Chris Hemsworth are going to keep me awake.
Who's the actress?
Okay, I can't wait to
SNL cast
Fight
member.
you this entire because I hate
The
that movie.
black woman from SNL. What's
that
She's
Leslie
very
Jones?
funny in that
Or-
movie.
Yeah, her.
Leslie Jones. She's very funny in that movie. I
can't
don't
wait for
care
that
what
one.
you say. But you guys, the thing that takes me
I've
out
owned
of
it
the
for
beginning
5 years.
of this act is, and I'm interested to hear what you have to say after we watch Ghostbusters 2, Spencer, and how where they take the story. But in the end of this film, we get the scene where everybody's cheering on the Ghostbusters. We get the montage of the ghosts getting loose, and like a cab driver who's a ghost, who's a skeleton, with some 80s pop music sprinkled in there. And then they get the go ahead from the mayor. They go to the tower, the Shandor Towers or whatever it's called. I think it is called Shandor Towers, the apartment complex. Kind of like the Baxter Building. But everyone's cheering them on. They have like Ghostbusters merchandise. They're cheering. Everyone's like waving flags and stuff. And I feel like it's a little premature because
If they celebrate at the beginning,
that stuff, like, are they that? Well, they are that well known because they have been getting a lot of press, like on Larry King
And that
all
great commercial.
stuff. In that great commercial
Casey
that they
Kasem,
probably
the top 20.
paid freaking Jimmy McGill to make for them. But
Nice. Hey.
I think,
You know
hey,
what cartoon character Casey Kasem famously played?
yeah,
voice?
Shaggy, we know.
Yep. Probably his
Thank you
greatest
for
work.
that little bit of trivia. Thank you very much.
I've been watching a lot of old Scooby Doo. We should cover those. Cover all the Scooby-Doo movies.
man. Like we're here talking about the Ghostbusters, man.
Oh, great.
So good. Hey, gang.
Like I'm gonna go
why
get
don't
a
we
chili
split
dog.
up? We should
How about we
split
don't?
up. We're
Yeah, we can
cool,
do
friend.
Yeah, we can do more damage that way.
I'll go
Favorite
with
line.
Daphne and Velma. You
I
go
love
with the
that line.
dog.
He's
Gee,
looking right at me,
thanks.
Ray. He's looking right at me.
What do we?
My point that I
Yeah,
was getting
Jesus.
to before Scooby Doo, I
I
feel
don't
like
think
the
it was
cheering and
Jesus.
stuff is a little over the top. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
What
a little
do you
premature,
think?
a little like. All right, calm
I-
down,
I-
everybody. Yeah,
They had to hype it up. I was
They're
about
really
to be
hyping
hyped.
them up like they're like.
I
Well,
just
the
love it. They
climax
get a
just kinda
military
happens.
escort, or they get a police escort,
yeah.
and yeah,
And they're not going to do anything. They literally have nothing to do. What are they going to do? Shoot the ghosts?
Mhm.
Like,
Maybe.
come on.
shoot the giant marshmallow.
I can understand the crowd being there because that's the central point of the city where the dark cloud's going around. But I wouldn't be there. I mean, rocks are going to be falling on them like they do when everything gets destroyed up above.
For sure.
But the thing that really I think sticks out like a sore thumb in that whole scene was when the earthquake happens and the Ghostbusters fall into the street. They fall into the sewer system, the street, and they're just back again.
Yep.
Like they do this sequence where the Ghostbusters fell into the ground. What's going to happen? Is there going to be like a big sequence where they go through the tunnels or whatever and find their way that way? No, it's just like a fake out to show that they got hurt or whatever. And it's like, nope, we're good, we're fine. And then, I don't know, it almost feels like a scene where they're just showing off their hydraulic set.
They got to flex, man.
In the street.
Gotta show
yeah,
that
they got to
budge,
show
man.
that effect. Because ultimately the scene is kind of pointless.
Mm-hmm.
Because the music cuts out, they have the earthquake, and then they get back up out the hole and they play that 80s song again before they go up into the tower. And then it cuts to them going up the stairs. You got that beautiful matte painting of the cavernous stairway going up.
Yeah.
They're like, where are we? Somebody tell me where we are. Somewhere in the teens. All right, tell me when we get to 20.
I'm gonna puke. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
This movie could have used a lot more Prince. It had that feel.
You know what?
It had that
it would have fit
Batman
well too.
feel.
Yeah. I agree on that.
Maybe that's why I didn't care for it as much as you guys.
I always laugh at the way Ray says, Ray, what did you think of, Ray? What did you think of?
Yeah.
It can't be. It can't be. And he says
He's
it like
so
the same
panicked.
way twice in a row.
I
Yeah.
just try to think of something from my childhood. And he's going on and on about the memories of he's still talking about roasting the marshmallows. Like, all right, yeah.
We used to roast him over the campfire at Camp Wakanda.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like he
Yeah.
said. It sounded like he said Camp Wakanda.
I know, I think he did. I don't know.
Did you catch the little Easter egg foreshadow of a later film in there? He's listing off a bunch of stuff, and he mentions brake pads. I think this was earlier in the movie when he's talking about the car.
Yeah.
Ray mentions brake pads, which then he later became a brake pad salesman and Tommy Boy. So,
Ooh, Dan Aykroyd?
yeah, fun little... I make car parts for the American working man because that's what I am, and that's who I care about. Come on, you know.
I don't remember him in that movie.
He plays Otto Zielinski, the auto parts king. Yeah, Zielinski. They're trying to buy out Tommy's dad's company.
Gallagher or
No, it's not Gallagher. It's Callahan. It's Callahan.
Like the show.
You know what this movie? You know who this movie and who this franchise is actually missing? Obviously, he wouldn't have been in the newer
Chris
ones,
Farley.
but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Slimer. I'm a ghost that died from getting something out of the fridge back in my cabin, and now I'm gonna Slimer. I think he should have been Slimer, dude.
Do you validate?
Okay, here I come. Coming at ya. That'd have been great. Or he's one of the Ghostbusters.
Oh.
Let me get my God blaster.
No,
Oh,
it's
my
a
gosh.
Proton.
It's a proton pack.
I said it that time on purpose.
Looks like we really yeah, that's a really
David
bad Chris
Spade makes a
Farley
cameo.
impression.
Let's remake this movie. Let's remake this movie again. We'll reboot it again in 20 years. No, not 20, like 10.
Can we
and
talk
then have
about
Adam Sandler in it?
Oh, I don't want to do another remake.
Mm-mm.
Are they making
Yeah.
more? Like, have they said anything about, or is Afterlife like it?
Yeah, they already announced it. The next
Well,
one
then why
will
are
be
we
back in
covering
New
it
York.
now?
We
There's
can
gonna be more,
cover
we're
the
gonna have
new
to
one
come
when it
back to
comes
it?
out.
I don't like revisiting.
Don't even.
I like doing complete ones. You know
Oh, a
this.
completist.
They're really doing another one?
Yes, they've already
When?
announced it.
When?
They need to film it.
Well, maybe
What's
by
it
then I'll
called
be a
again?
fan.
It doesn't have a name yet. But they did announce a new movie after Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I'm super excited for that. Let's go
Crossover,
see
Paul
it.
Rudd, Melissa McCarthy.
Well, how about no, Scott?
How about yes? So Act
Thinking
3,
that's-
they
Act
they
3, what-
conveniently, like, they just destroy the thing pretty easily. Like,
It is
that
a
was
little
another thing for me. The
anticlimactic.
climax was just, he shoots him back, and then they get a chance to talk and figure it out. And he's just up there going, just chilling. I mean, they are just up there
Mm-hmm.
chilling, doing nothing. And then the big marshmallow comes, and they're like, let's cross our streams. Done.
I do think. Well,
yeah, if there's one thing I'm willing to concede to is that the final fight probably could have been more of a fight.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But again, the budget, they could only spend so much on, and this was started off as not a huge budget movie. I mean, it feels like it's like an SNL movie, one of those SNL movies, except way better. It's not like Night at the Roxbury. It's got a lot of cast members from SNL, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray. But and Harold Ramis, I don't believe he was with SNL, but he was a comedian. He was in some comedies.
Right. Yeah.
They should have
that he
shown
wrote
some of
and
the
acted in.
townspeople like roasting or like eating the marshmallow goo, or like cut away to like somebody's having a bonfire.
Everybody
like,
has more.
do we need some more marshmallows? And then they scoop up some goo. Like that would have been funny. But they didn't do that.
There's some very big parallels with this movie later on.
To
down
real
the
world.
line. To the real world?
Yep. Because
who doesn't get gooed on nowadays?
We just had a giant marshmallow, toasted marshmallow in office. It was a whole thing. So,
yeah.
Do you want to keep talking about Act 3 of this movie, though?
Yes.
I am the
I do
greatest
agree.
marshmallow.
I agree with you, Spencer, that the movie, that's what I put in my notes too, is the ending is abrupt. It's too abrupt. Like it ends with Zeddemore screaming, I love this town! And then it cuts to them coming down like the Ghostbusters. And then they kiss and all that, and then it's just credits. It ends like Jaws ends. Where they blow up the shark, and they swim towards the shore, and all of a sudden the credits start rolling. There's no resolution. Like nowadays, the 3-act structure in Hollywood, you have a downward slope. Like we're resolving it, we're coming off of the high.
We don't know. We don't have anything else.
They just ended it.
That's all you get.
Guys, we're out of budget. All right, have everybody clapping a little bit, and we'll just throw the credits.
I think in that Movies That Made Us, they mentioned this as well about that scene at the Sedgwick. That's the haunted hotel.
Yeah.
If you were paying attention, if you weren't napping, that's where they capture the first ghost in the ballroom.
Yeah.
And they come out of the room. It's a way different tone than it was when they captured it. Like they're in the ballroom. They captured the ghost. Everything. We got it. He's in there. And then the next scene, they come out of the door. They're holding it like out in front of them, and it's smoking like hell. And they're all sweaty and stuff. But they were nothing like that in the ballroom. So I think they mentioned there was a continuity error in the shooting.
That's the 80s.
But they couldn't fix it or something like that. I'm not sure. But that stood out to me as like a weird edit. Like a continuity issue, unless they made it all like they made it themselves look like that to lend them credibility to see how difficult it was to capture this ghost. Well, 5,000. I didn't know it was going to be that much. I am not paying.
That's okay.
Pay.
We can just put this back.
We can just go put them back in. Yeah. Well, we're having a special this month on ghosts.
On entrapment.
That's 4,000. Yeah. We're not.
Oh no, he says.
What's going on? We're exterminators. Cockroach. That must be one hell of a cockroach.
Bite your head off, man.
Big. Bite your head off, pal. Yeah, man.
Oh, good stuff.
Spencer's like, I don't remember that.
I do remember that.
Spencer's just ready to be done with this movie.
No,
I don't remember this movie.
Am I playing the Joel role? then?
Oh, if you'd like.
Can we
You
just
are
fucking-
actually, because Joel
I
didn't
gotta
give
plug
a shit
myself.
about High School Musical.
I gotta plug myself.
It's like you
I
don't
gotta
care
plug
about Ghostbusters.
I gotta get back to my dogs. I gotta plug myself. Chance! Shut the fuck up! I gotta get back to my dog.
He's sleeping right now.
Oh, sorry.
Just like I should be.
I'm here talking about this. something smart.
Little comment.
Little comment. Yeah. Guys, Ghostbusters. What do we think?
Why are you
What do we
yelling at
think
me?
about the movie?
I
Do
think
you
I'm
guys
ready
want to
for
be?
the,
I think we should dress up
the
as the
next one.
Ghostbusters one year. Do you guys want to do that for Halloween?
If I end up being a fan, sure.
No, you're doing it regardless.
But then I'd be like a poser. Like, what if I don't?
Yeah,
get
you'd
into
be like
this?
me wearing skater clothes in middle school.
Yeah, like, am I a fake fan? Dude, Etnies were comfortable though. Their shoes. Say what you want about skaters,
Yeah.
but yo,
Joe, when I picture you dressed up in high school, I picture low-riding jeans, ass hanging out the back, big-ass
picture that
coats
at
that
all.
are too big, hat on the side,
no.
thinking he's...
No. He's
No?
wearing no. He's wearing no. He's
No, I'm
wearing
not wearing anything. Yep.
Music Man t-shirt. He's wearing a Music Man t-shirt with a sports coat or a blazer. Black slacks with these like grandpa dress shoes and then a fedora, and then he's wearing a scarf.
Oh. So you basically described Ryan Evans from High School Musical.
Yeah, no. Here, hold on. Let me find it.
It's okay. We don't need to.
Anyway, back to my question. I want to be the Ghostbusters for Halloween. I was thinking about that earlier today while I was mowing the lawn. I was like, that would be fun, and we can build our own proton
Do you mow
packs.
the lawn every day?
Spencer, you can make your proton flazer,
Flazer.
or whatever you want to call it.
Blade. Laser. Blazer.
I had news out today. They got a script
I
on
know.
that. Like Vince Vaughn has a great idea. They just need to get Ben Stiller on board
For
So,
Dodgeball 2?
Yeah.
Guess what we're covering when that comes out?
Okay, I'm for.
Well, no,
for that.
Spencer. We got to wait till it's complete.
I know that.
Your dodge wrench or your dodge
That's
ball.
why I said when it comes out. Oh yeah, what are they going to do without him? Get Bill Murray.
Rip Torn. Oh, he's
If you
he's
can
no
dodge
longer.
this wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Good one.
That was my Bill Murray. I don't know. I think Bill Murray's best role is in Space Jam, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Well,
No,
I think
disagree,
a lot
but-
of roles Bill Murray just plays himself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was himself in
Yeah, in
frickin'
Space Jam, he was himself.
Exactly. And he was, well, we'll just write it down. What does he say to Larry when they're on the golf cart?
You know what, Larry? I'm going to give us both twos back there. We were in no emotional state to be putting. That's fair. But the NBA is going to need players. And if that happens, what do you think my...
Yeah.
Space
Joel
Jam is
doesn't
the best
care.
90s film of all time.
Okay.
Wow, that's a large
best
statement.
basketball movie. Best basketball movie.
That's a
featuring
big
Michael
statement.
Jordan and Bugs Bunny.
There's only
that's
one
fair
movie
statement.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I love the sarcastic part of Bill Murray in this movie. Like every sarcastic line that comes out of his mouth pretty much gives me a good
I'm
laugh.
telling you,
I don't like the I don't like the chauvinism.
No, but
I don't like that aspect.
almost every line he says in this movie is quotable. Like
Yeah. Whoa!
Oh,
Nice shooting, Tex. Yeah.
nice shooting, Tex.
When Egon can't control himself.
I love it.
I'm going to be quoting the second one. I promise.
Okay.
I'll be watching it
I
and I'll
love
quote
Egon.
it.
I love Egon's. We've got something big, Ray. Really big. Really big. I think we're onto something big every time. And there's some like,
Sure.
what do you do for hobbies? I collect molds, spores, and fungus. mold, spores, and fungus.
Yeah, that's a good one, bro.
So, but Lewis, he's the best character in this, right? We all agree.
I mean,
get him some coffee. Should I drink coffee?
Yes, have some.
I'll have coffee. Yes, have some.
He's sitting there. He's handing him the pan and the lamp. Thanks, man. What?
You notice the
Thank you,
picture
Vince.
on the spectro?
It's just a dog sitting there,
and it's the Zool moving its head.
See, this movie's so great, but he's been doing the Lewis Tully this whole time.
Okay, I guess he can come too.
I want to start my own team with my daughter.
Well, hey, he ultimately got what he wanted. You could tell he had a thing for Dana the whole time. And Dana's like being kind of mean. Like,
dark helmet.
Sure, maybe we'll come over. Or, I'm sorry, I forgot. Like, she forgot. She didn't want it. Actually, she probably did forget with all the shit that's going on in her apartment.
We barely.
About her. I got a date. He's a Ghostbuster. Yeah. And let's cut away to one of the best musicians in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are those poppers?
Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Oh, he's a friend. I like that location.
You like a lot of things.
Where they have that discussion outside the music hall after she's done with rehearsal. And she's talking about the conductor yelling at them in German.
Right.
But the score, speaking of music, the score. We're on our final thoughts here. We're on our final
segment. Well, it wasn't
segment.
John Williams, so it wasn't really my style, but
it was.
Appreciate the
it was a
Ghostbusters
Silver Age,
song.
Golden Age composer, Elmer Bernstein, who did the score, which I'm surprised they got. He's very well, he's got a reputation in the film.
Do you think he was a disappointment to the rest of his family?
I think he did Psycho, didn't he?
The same family.
Let me look it up. He's got a lot of big stuff under his belt. Animal House, there you go. Okay, so that explains it. Animal House, Blue Brothers, Stripes.
Bulletproof.
Stripes he worked with.
Yeah.
Ivan Reitman and Harold Ramis again. Yeah. Trading Places, Ghostbusters, Spies Like Us. Yeah. I could have swear. I'm thinking of someone else who did Psycho. But yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird, that's a big one too. Wow. But yes, very prolific composer in the film world. But I really like his score to this movie. I really do. It fits. I love
everything just seems.
It's kind of got that Rhapsody in Blue, big city kind of sound to it. But it knows when to get quirky. He knows when to get quirky with the characters.
Right. It's got whimsy. Yeah.
Yes. With the little piano thing. Love it. And the theremin, brilliant use of theremin. Just great. I like the movie. I like the aesthetic. I like it kind of, like I said, I just like the feel of it. That 80s New York kind of takes you to that time period with the spectral paranormal elements there.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's a funny movie with funny characters.
Spencer doesn't see it that way, but
no, I do. It's funny.
I do think it's criticized though for giving
objectively
for not giving Winston Zeddemore or Ernie Hudson very much to do. And I think it's been criticized for being kind of we're going to have the one black guy on the team, like tokenism, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that you can. Yeah, it kind of does teeter a little dangerously close to that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I noticed he didn't really have much to do as the other guys. He's kind of a late ad.
He gets better.
But also, that's kind of part of it. It's
good.
They do write his character.
It's kind of part of it, though. Is he kind of just hopped on because, if it's steady paying, whatever, I'll believe it. I'll believe
anything you say. I've seen shit that'll turn you white. To the mayor.
But then, going back to like what he was saying about the grave, you're saying he joined because of maybe he has a kind of a thing for
like an interest in the parent,
some sort
or
of
like
fulfillment
being a
going
man
on
of
with
faith.
with his beliefs. But then I think that came after him joining up and being with him for a little bit and finding out like, oh, these guys are for real. Oh, so you're saying that stuff actually happens after death from the beyond? Like, I think he's having those realizations. So I think that's part of it. They kind of kept him a minor character because of, all right, well, we don't want to introduce, the whole purpose of the arc is to like make him kind of hop on, be late to the party, and have him be a character that can learn a lesson or something, I don't know.
Almost like us being everyman, like a rookie. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just remembered his. Yep. I remembered his line when they're talking. Do you believe in God? I mean, Jesus, he's got style. I like his style. And Dan Aykroyd just kind of. I only remember Revelations 5 verse 12 or whatever the verse is about the seas boiling and earthquakes. I don't know the scripture of that.
We're making Spencer's blood boil.
What?
Are we?
No. Why?
I thought we'd be making your blood boil because we're talking about scripture.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm combusting. Oh no.
Christian, he doesn't even know what scripture is.
Oh dear God.
Oh, did you guys catch all the little things that go on in the back of the scenes during the movie in the background?
No.
Like when they shoot the cleaning lady's cart,
What
and then it
the
cuts to
hell
them
are you
talking about
doing?
splitting up. And then they're talking, and she's spraying the flames with
really?
with her spray bottle. Yeah, and you can hear it in the back. That's what he does, the split
Guys,
up line.
this movie's worth another watch. I'll give it another watch.
It
at
is.
some point.
It's got
wait
stuff
the
behind
fuck
the
up.
scenes.
Just not right now.
When it cuts to the news guy reporting about the Ghostbusters on the street, there's a guy in the background just going like fixing his shirt.
He was just a bystander. They didn't pay him.
So tell us, where's Elvis and how is he doing?
Yeah.
Where's Elvis and how is he doing? He didn't fake his death, people. He's
still alive.
Yep.
On Mars.
And my name's Vince Chlorvlog.
No, they put him up on the moon. That's why we haven't gone back.
Wait, Joel. Wait, can I get this straight?
Because
Spencer, Joel. What's his name? Is it Evan Shandong? What is it? What is it? Or is it Ivan Shandong? I don't remember. I guess I'll have to watch the movie again. I don't remember because I didn't fucking watch it. I fell asleep and
I rewound it. I watched the entire movie.
Barely.
It took me 2.5 hours to watch an hour-and-a-half movie, but I did it. I pushed myself for this show, guys. Even after staying up till midnight the night before, I did it. I could have said, "Hey guys, can we record on Wednesday?" I didn't watch it, Winnie, but I didn't. I watched it.
With that, that's a good end cap.
I didn't watch it, Winnie.
So.
Oh,
I didn't do that. I didn't come up with I got a dog, so I can't. I didn't do that.
Just me having a dog.
Sorry, I gotta take care of my Zool or Vince Klondike or whatever his name is.
Vince Klondike.
My dog.
Yeah.
Vince Klondike.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one, guys.
I am too, because I do have some special thoughts about that one.
It was delivered to my local library. I'm going to pick it up, return this one.
For a totally unrelated reason. Anyway, guys, I got something in my eye. What is that?
It's your eyes telling you to wrap it up.
To go to bed.
Okay. Well, guys, this has been fun. This has been another episode of Sequel Men, the podcast in the books. Do you like that word, Spencer? Podcast?
Yes.
Keep that in mind. Anyway, Sequel Men, the podcast, brand new episode, Ghostbusters. It was fun. We're glad you tuned in. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you had a good time. If you like this episode, you'll like all 107 of our other ones that we have in the books. We got a bunch of them. We just wrapped up our Halloween. We got, of course, Fear Street last year, Twilight, Hunger Games, Spider-Man, Toy Story, Star Wars. We got a bunch of them. Austin Powers. Tune into them. If you like this, tune into our other episodes on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts, like Podbean. Check us out.
Hey guys, also you can join the party at you can come and hang out with us on the Facebook and we can we'll go, and we're on the Instagram and the Twitter and stuff like that. But go and give us a like and come on over. Have that. Hey,
who the hell is that supposed to be? Who is that supposed to be?
Facebook. That was a lame.
Was that supposed to be me?
Rick Moranis. No, it was Rick Moranis. It wasn't good. But we're on those platforms, and like us, subscribe us, and 5 us.
Yep.
Star.
Yeah, make sure you're paying attention to that.
Joel, bend over. It's time to plug yourself.
All right. Well, first I'll start by plugging us all and saying don't forget about our YouTube channel. That's where this video is going to be, and not all the rest of us, but rest of our videos. But since the 100th episode, I think we've been doing videos. I've been working hard trying to get those video podcasts up. And yes, you may have been noticing, I must emphasize, 2 different experiences you will have by listening to both audio and watching the video, because I'm a lazy fuck and I don't edit nearly as good as Christian does with the audio, and he's much more creative and puts a lot more effort into it.
What are you doing with your face?
Please still watch the videos, because we, need those subscribers, likes. It all helps.
Please,
it all helps our presence online. Please subscribe.
Christian was subscribe. Say it.
You can also, I embed the YouTube videos on my website if you'd like to see what I'm up to and what the Sequel Men are up to. jpvoicedj.com. Go fuck yourself. Not you, audience. I meant that to Spencer.
How dare you?
Okay.
We will read whatever's on the teleprompter. Texas, that one was for you. I forgot to shout.
That's another thing. I was at trivia with Ben, and he mentioned. So, what's the deal with Texas?
Really?
Each season's going to be a different thing that I repeat over and over. This time it was Texas.
I can't wait for Spencer to get up on his soapbox again and say, "Guys,
that's it."
So, gay people exist. Everybody, okay?
I don't know
why do I have to.
I don't know why you're so against equality, Christian.
I'm not.
Listen,
I'm not.
I think they gave Sigourney Weaver too much screen time. I think, mainly because we're here for the Ghostbusters, and then what? They just throw a woman in here and expect our intention to be.
Oh wow! If I were that offended, just wait until we get to the Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah,
I'm psyched about that one.
Joel isn't.
No, just so we know, because sometimes people are dumb. Texas. I'm kidding. Christian isn't sexist. Okay,
I'm not a sexist.
Quite literally the opposite. We all are.
Has it never
Joel
been
made a pumpkin? Okay.
Okay.
All right, play us out.
Wow.
Too far, bro.
I'm gonna be busting your ass in a second here.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just kidding.
He's trash.
Play us out, Christian. Now that Joel has actually offended you.
He knows that I respect him. in some
I didn't.
capacity.
Yeah, you just all right, ladies and gentlemen. I have no rebuttal. we could go back and forth, but I don't want to think of anything right now. So, good night, good luck, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whenever you're listening to this, I don't care. Shut up, please. Thank you for tuning in, and we cannot wait
That's right,
till the
Christian,
next
because
one.
here at Sequel Man fucking
That's
asshole.
right, Christian. I haven't done that in a while.
That's right, Christian, because here at
Go ahead.
Sequel Men, the podcast.
All films.
All films overrated sequel. Hold on, guys.
All films are created sequel. Thank you, Proton guys, and Prosper.